The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Sports Collective Media and Morris Media Studios presents Sports Collective TV. On today's lineup, a miracle happened yesterday in Miami when we look at what an impressive
goodness.
Wow, that was.
What in the world was that?
Ending on Tom Brady about to celebrate, but they said no in Miami. But another miracle happened yesterday, not in Miami, but up in the Bay Area, where we look with Ilias Raiders looking from Derek Carr finally.
Raiders can't even lose
finally making some catches up there, but sorry, Ferran. Maybe next week, Ferran. Maybe next week. But hey, let's move on to the real game here. America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Prescott to Amari Cooper down there and taking down the Philadelphia Eagles
That was
there.
Nice.
But hey, another one, big showdown last night, Sunday Night Football. The Chicago Bears beat down on the Los Angeles Rams. We'll go ahead and give you guys more updates on that here on Sports Collective TV, which starts right now.
Goodness.
Woo!
Wow.
Hey, you know, before that, Ferran, man.
Don't say my name.
Man. I'll hold it.
You ain't Destiny's Child.
Wait till 5:30. We're going to go ahead and bring you guys that NFL highlights.
Please, thank you. Wait for that, please.
Let's go.
Before we get started, I want to thank you for listening today. As always, we have a very spectacular show for you. Shouts out to my man, Cali Sportsman, who's up there in the Bay with his mom, Joelle Wright. We want to say happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And thank you for giving birth to that guy up there that's hanging out with you. We appreciate him. And so if you want to follow us, Twitter, Instagram is at Sports Collective Media. As you can see, the deck is always live. We got a new welcome.
Hey. Woo!
Introduce yourself, man, in case they missed you last week.
Let's go.
Dom, P3, you know what they do. I'm ready to talk this stuff.
You ready?
Ready. Like that jacket, though. That jacket. There it is.
Next Monday, next month you have to leave this in the car.
Nah, he might be bringing a Mellow Lakers shirt on.
What?
Mellow. All right, man.
Let's go.
Smooth J under the net, man.
Come on, man.
Man, we finna be a big show today, man. We got one of my best friends here, man, Keon Kendrick, man. It's finna be a wonderful show, man.
It's gonna be wild in here, man. But hey, myself, Fredo Cervantes, I'm known as the truth. Why? Because I spit the truth. I tell you guys what it is. And the Cowboys are the real deal. I'm telling you guys. But we touch more on that a little bit later. And shout out to Big Al back there as well. We got Big Al.
X's and O's is in the building.
X's and O's is in the building.
Yeah.
And we also got LaRon in the building there, you know, getting out his new wrestling career. Hey, shout out to LaRon. New wrestling career.
What you
gotta say?
Hey, check this out. I'm over here starting wrestling, man.
There it
this
is.
week.
Boom!
Come on, man. Nah, but I'm getting trained by Robbie Phoenix at Centino Brothers Wrestling Academy, man. I'm just, you know what I mean? So
Congratulations, man. Congratulations, man.
WWE superstar in the making.
Sports Collective TV. Only Hip Hop Show started tomorrow. You know,
there it is. Nice way to throw in your show in there. Nice way to throw in your show.
Dropping them bombs. Get out of here.
Check them out tomorrow. What time?
8:30 to 9.
8:30 on Morris Media Studios. Check them out there, man.
So Fredo, before
What's
we get this break on, man, why you got all this Dodger gear on,
man?
This baseball season is done, man.
People might think it's done, but as of yesterday, you know, the winter meeting started out there in Las Vegas with all the GMs out there. There's a lot of moves getting started, but one of the most interesting ones is, you know, one of the biggest stars out there, which is Bryce Harper. He's available. Another guy, Pollock, which I'm pretty sure, Luis, if you're watching out there, I know you're watching, Luis. Pollock from the Arizona Diamondbacks might be coming to the Dodgers. So check that out. But I know we're going to go ahead. Yeah, and Kluber, the two pitchers from the Cleveland Indians, they're up in the open market. So there's a lot of moves starting right now.
What are y'all going to do, man? What are y'all looking for?
Hey, I'm hoping, I saw a report earlier from one of the MLB writers, Buster Olney. He's talking about the Dodgers are shopping Kemp and Puig together.
What?
They're shopping them both together, and they're trying to replace them with Bryce Harper. So it's...
What you think about that?
I'm up for it. I mean, if you're looking into swapping Yasiel Puig and Matt Kemp for Bryce Harper and Pollock over from the Diamondbacks, I'm up for that one. Okay. I mean, that's a big. They
done? They use them up? Those
are two homegrown players that the Dodgers had. Matt Kemp since 06, Puig since 13.
Okay.
I mean, two homegrowns that might be out this year, so we don't know. We don't know about that, but we'll find out sooner than later. But yeah, that's why I'm repping my Dodgers, man.
Whatever.
Got to rep them, even though we lost this year 2 years in a row. It sucks.
I might get it next year.
It's pretty sad, so we'll check it out. But
all right, cool. So we're going to take this first break because we got a spectacular interview for you. You've been checking the social media, Sports Collective Media on Instagram. Coming up next, Keon Kendrick right here live on Sports Collective TV. Shout us out. What's the count?
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
Back on the air, man. We got the special guest, Keon Kendrick, man. L.A. native, man. California native, man. He was one of the best players in the city. He still is the good guy, man. Wonderful, man. We just got this guy, man, do amazing things for the city, man. Kids, adults, everything, man. This amazing guy right here, man.
Appreciate that.
Welcome on, man.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you guys for bringing me on. Definitely excited. Looking forward to a good interview.
Yes.
So you ready to get started, man?
Always. I'll be ready in this business.
All right, so I'm gonna take the rock right now.
Yeah, get the rock.
So, who was Keon Kendrick growing up, man, as a little guy?
He was a knucklehead.
Yeah, what?
He was, I grew up in the mean streets of South Central Los Angeles, and where everything is earned the hard way. And, you got to figure it out. Two options. You either bang or ball.
Yeah.
And I happen to do both. So,
yeah.
But, just a product of my environment, but came out on the successful side.
What was that interest in basketball?
Just to get out the house.
Yeah.
To get away from my mom, single-parent household, and sometimes you get tired of yelling at you, so I had to find some extracurricular activities to make sure I don't come home till she's done yelling at everybody. Man. So I played every sport I could possibly be in.
I wanted to ask you, what gave you the interest of playing basketball when you was young? Like what made you be the monster you was when you was a young kid? Like, what gave you the motivation?
Honestly, it was like people like Sean Kemp. I remember watching a highlight. I remember watching a highlight and seeing Sean Kemp dunk the ball so mean.
Oh, wow.
He swung around the rim, and it was just like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I asked my mom, could we get a court in the backyard? And we put a few pennies together, and she got it. And
no way.
So I put it at the lowest level possible, and I became the next shot in my backyard. And then my mom was like, it costs too much. You're going to have to raise that up.
Man.
So she put it at 10 feet. So the only time you're going to dunk is when you can dunk at 10.
Okay.
And until the 8th grade, I started dunking basketball.
Now, I want to tell people in L.A., man, Keon went to Dominguez Hills.
High school. In Compton.
He had some of the coldest teammates ever. But Keon, everybody don't know this. Keon Kendrick was like LeBron before LeBron. I'm telling you, man.
That is true?
He was 6'5", man. 6'5", 220, man. Dunking, got handles. Man, he was amazing. And I just want to tell people, man, he went to Long Beach State, got degrees, everything. Very smart. Very, very intelligent.
3 degrees. Have a
master's. 3 degrees. My bad.
Hey, don't shortchange him.
Yeah, don't shortchange him.
he's just an amazing guy, man. This one.
What other sports did you play besides basketball?
Play football, of course. You got to play football.
Yeah.
Looking at my stature,
you get that bell rung, or was you?
I was fairly decent. I was fairly decent in terms of not being able to get ran over or be injured or have any CT issues.
Yeah.
What position they have you play?
Growing up, quarterback. Quarterback because I was bigger than everybody. I was just running over. But in high school, I played safety and I played receiver, which was fun for 2 years until you realize as you get older they hit harder. Being a dual sport athlete, kind of had to step away once we won the national championship my sophomore year in high school. So my coach said, you got to pick a sport. So basketball was my first one.
So you picked that one.
Mm-hmm. What was your biggest influence growing up?
Probably my community. Like,
as a whole?
Living in poverty, like, you don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So it's like that every day you wake up, it's like, all right, I gotta get out of here.
That was your motivation?
That's the motivation. The outside, the people, my mother's friends and the homeless people, and just seeing families strung out on drugs. Like, all right, I gotta be the one that gets out of here.
Yeah.
Maybe I can start a trickle-down effect. My brothers, my sisters, my cousins, my close friends in the community. Like, man, we're bigger than where we are. Man.
A lot of student athletes have that transition from high school to college. What was that like for you?
For me, it was simple. If people do their research and understand the high school I went to, the prestige behind it, Dominguez was like a NBA organization.
Yes, it was.
I played with the likes of Tyson Chandler, who's on the Lakers, Bobby Jones, who spent 7 years in the NBA. I had 9 Division I teammates. We were the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
We were one of the biggest Nike-sponsored schools. So the things that most college players get to see, I'd experienced as a freshman.
Yeah. Man,
playing Oak Hill, playing Oak Hill when they had NBA players, when
your 4th, 5th guy off the bench is going D1.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So I'm sitting there, in an atmosphere where whenever we go to a different arena, it's sold out.
Yeah, wow.
So as a freshman playing against Oak Hill at Cal State Fullerton, we had 5,000 people. With 2,000 outside that couldn't get in.
Nah.
So imagine walking in the gym and you looking up and you see this and it's like, this is bigger than middle school. So then when I go to college, and it's like, certain games just won't sell out.
Yeah.
So I wasn't used to it. I was so used to being on the biggest stage that every stage wasn't the same.
Yeah. And picking your education, what degree, what field did you go after?
I am getting my undergrad in sociology and then I got my master's in human development. I fell into it. I was always one of those people who's intrigued by the community, the people, and how these factors play into how we think, how we exist, how we move, and the demographics and things that kind of control us. Because I always wonder why does this happen to us in our community? Why does this happen to us? Why does it's more churches and liquor stores next to each other than there are schools and libraries.
That's true.
Things like that.
What did you discover out of that in your...
I mean, you got to read my thesis. My thesis is published, so if you want to understand those stats, go back and look at my thesis.
Cool deal.
Yeah, but another question. He have every Wednesday, it's this thing called Air West. Nike, they sponsored by Nike.
Yes.
One of the biggest things in LA history is every Wednesday. He make all the NBA guys, the overseas guys, they come here and play every summer. Like, tell you the motivation about that. How did that start?
Well, my partner and I, Chris Young, who's another LA legend in the basketball world, we just came in with an idea, something that we needed for the community. A lot of what we do is community based. Like, what can we do for these guys that go overseas, spend all those months over there? They want to come back, they want to play. The NBA guys come home for a short stint. Where can we put someplace, safe haven, where they can go get good quality basketball without going to 24-hour fitness?
Right.
No knock on those guys. No knock on those guys. No knock. But you want to put them in a situation where they can play, get better, be competitive, and it can be organized. Yeah. So we came up with the idea of Air West, pitched it to Nike, and we're the longest non-professional program Nike has.
Okay. Wow. I got another question. What does Drew League mean to you?
What it means to me is...
No, me to you and the community.
I mean, it means everything to the community. Drew League is our special, jewel in the community. It's kind of like our little NBA.
Yeah,
because of course the Lakers run Los Angeles. But for the community that can touch those people, it's where the Drew League is.
Okay.
And it gives guys like myself, guys like you, a chance to play in front of their family.
Yes,
because when we're in college, mom's not making a drive and
that's
flight.
real. That's real.
You know, especially not 5 or 10 of them.
Right.
Not getting them playing. I went to school in Missouri, so they wouldn't come and watch me play in Missouri.
I got work, son. I got work.
You know, especially overseas, it's even more taxing to see if I can get the family to come watch me play when you're in like in Estonia.
Yeah.
So the Drew League is home, so it's somewhere you can come see them play at the highest caliber against NBA players, against some guys that you grew up against, and the Drew League has provided that platform.
And Drew League and Air West collaborate.
Oh, we're
partnership
baby brothers.
Support each other.
Yes. Well, basically, our selling point is this is the Drew League during the week.
Yes, that's what it is.
So if you want to watch the best players in the Drew play during the week, come to Air West on Wednesday.
So let's get a little bit personal. So your transition out of athletics, injuries, like how did you get into the job you're doing now?
Oh, it's unfortunately how I got into it, but it's a blessing, you know, in the hereafter. So just injuries. I'm the person that they tell you about in books, you know. Oh, you're one injury away from never playing again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I hate to be the poster child, but I'll take that, I'll wear it, and I'll show people that it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the best thing to tell kids, but it's the reality. And sometimes we need to face the harsh reality that you could be at the top of that mountain, one injury, now you're climbing up again.
Yes.
So, and I've been able to climb up that mountain and help others along.
Yes.
So that mental toughness, right? I know you give a credit to your environment and your community, but how did you survive that transition? I know as a military veteran, when I retired, there's a transition that you go through, that identity crisis and all that. How did you manage your mental in the midst of those injuries to come out of there?
Breach key.
I kind of had to find a new version of me because the competitive athletic version was held on. You can still do this. The body is telling you no. Brain is telling you yes. So I had to tell somebody no. So I ended up telling my head, like, all right, the body has betrayed us. We got to figure this out. You know, basketball has given you everything you've ever asked for.
Yeah.
How can we use this platform to stay where you are, do what you love, but not from the playing aspect?
Yeah.
So training just became natural. It's usually coaching, training, you know, something that I had to stay involved in the sport. And I ended up training my peers, people I knew, you know what I'm saying? Because around that time, training is a very expensive thing.
Yes, it
is.
is.
A lot of my good friends, I can't pay for the top trainer. And I'm like, well, I've played at a high level. IQ-wise, I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'll train you. Like, work out with me. Worst I can do is we'll get in shape. The worst I can do is run you and get in shape. So I started training my friends, and that just it blew up very fast.
Wow.
And another thing, he's a very good trainer. Like he gets you ready. Like meaning mind, body, and soul. He gets you ready, man. Yeah. So you know he's one of the good
Don,
guys.
you got something?
Yeah, I shared last week when my low point after sports ended, which I thought was sports ended, and then became something else. And I had a low point where I almost committed suicide. Did you have a low point? And second, and what was that? And then my low point leads to my testimony that I could share with these guys that God puts before us. So how do you use that, your low point, with them also?
My low point is the injuries, man. It was something that you never expect. And it's funny because you'll see injuries day to day in every sport. And the part that they don't tell you, it weighs on you mentally.
Yeah.
That is the hardest part about rehab. It's not your body. Your body's going to actually get back to where it's supposed to be, and even stronger. But the mind games that your body plays with your head is scary. So understanding that I was not the player I used to be, I had those moments. I wouldn't say as far as suicide, but what lifestyle do I go back to?
Man.
Basketball's not there. You know, basketball's not there anymore. I could easily fall a victim to the streets. I can easily just go outside and make a phone call and sit on the block and figure it out the other way.
Be a statistic.
You know, and be another statistic. It's true. So I just didn't want to be a statistic. I felt my parents, my mother, my grandmother, my core group of friends worked too hard for me to go backwards. So I just had to figure out, get out your way, get out your own way, and make something of the now. You know?
And I want to say one thing to him. I want to say one thing. He a legend. Like he's a legend. He's a legend. Like he's not no pretend. He's a legend.
Thank you.
So legend as in you won the championship at the Drew.
Yes,
that adds to the legacy. That
adds
to the legacy.
I've
won
prior to that.
I've won the JBL 3 times, Summer Pro League 1 time. I'm in the Women's Drew League Championship this Sunday.
Okay,
fire.
Okay,
won the Drew League this past summer, so I've officially won every
Baby Phil Jackson.
I've won every men's pro-am and coach of the year in every men's league.
Baby Phil Jackson, I see you. I see you.
That's tight.
So I'm also one of 12 that have ever won a national championship in basketball in California history.
Yeah,
we're the only high school to ever done it.
McDonald All-American as a freshman.
Even though I don't want to say this name, but Stanley Johnson.
Say his name. Say his name.
4 state titles.
How many you got?
Which is the record.
Okay.
We ended up losing because we broke up my senior. I have 3 state titles. He has 4. But I have a national championship. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Love you, Stan.
Yeah. All right, Stan. Whatever. So, what else you got?
What else you got? Another thing, Key. Like sometimes you ever think like when you're helping all these kids and these young men get to places, do you be happy? Like, how do you feel when they make it? Like, how do you feel? Like, do it give you a self relief or like? Because a lot of people don't make it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A lot of people work so hard, and sometimes we don't get breaks.
Right.
So, like, where do you teach them? Like, it takes time. Like, how do you talk to them? How do you give them hope? You know what I'm saying?
Well, my whole thing now is raising better human beings, men and women.
Yeah.
It's just making better people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll understand we're not going to make it professionally. Mm-hmm. I have every accolade you can imagine except the one that counts. I never made it as a pro.
Yeah.
And I'm building pros every day.
Yes, sir.
So it's one of those things where we just have to come together and kind of just be realistic. What's your goal and what's attainable? I'm never telling nobody to not reach for the stars, but let's make sure we touch the sky first.
Yeah, that's real.
Keep your feet on solid ground and reach up.
Because a lot of athletes don't realize, everybody wants to be that guy on the court or on the field, but there's so many jobs in the back office that education can get you that you can make just as much. It keeps you connected to the game,
and you ain't going to get hurt.
Yeah, but we don't see that. The youth don't see that on TV. They see the superstar.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what he was saying when we was youth. They didn't teach us that.
That wasn't something we was taught. But at the end of the day, Leon, we were also taught that if you don't make it, there's no other way to be successful.
Yeah, that's real.
Because you can look at me now, and my place of success is that I'm a black kid that graduated college. The first in my family.
Yeah. Yes.
That's success right there.
That is successful.
It doesn't matter if I'm not a CEO of a company, which I am. I do all my own business.
Yeah.
We're just saying.
Just so you know, I am a CEO. I do all my own business. But at the end of the day, it's just being able to get past certain stepping stones that were
looking back in your youth, it was like from that point of going, banging the ball. And
remember, for most time, getting to 18 was like a milestone.
It was a milestone.
I'm 34.
Yeah, and getting to 21.
Was a milestone.
18, 21, and 30.
Any day that you're allowed to live
it was
a
crazy
milestone.
back in the day.
Yeah, man.
So, but no, Leon, to get back to your initial question, I get joy in watching people accomplish their dreams now. Being able to be the person to put you in the pathway of getting what you want. When I helped you get your overseas job.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
that's
it.
the joy when I call
that's
you
real.
and knowing that you're not back on Hoover anymore.
Yeah.
You get to see a whole different part of the world.
Man.
That's the joy when I get on the phone and I help these guys.
Yeah, man. I remember.
And get these kids out these streets and give them something to believe in, to be the pillar of a community, to give them something to believe that it's attainable. It's hard to become Kobe. It's a little easier to become me.
Yeah. And one more other thing I want people to know, like he just ain't a trainer. He's a agent sometimes. He make deals for people. He made a lot of deals in the people, man. A lot of people don't know this. He made a lot of deals for some young kids.
I'm behind the scenes for a reason.
He behind the scenes.
The nickname I've been getting over the last few years is the gatekeeper.
Yeah, gatekeeper.
Oh, you a gatekeeper?
Yeah,
Call me the gatekeeper.
You that guy?
And the irony, my nickname is Keys.
Keys. So,
Keys to the city.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense. But no, I do what I can, and maybe it wasn't that I met those people at the right time when I was growing up, but no one wanted to help.
Yeah.
So when I decided that this path was for me and that this is what I want to do, I'm going to help at all angles.
Some guidance.
Yeah, just help. Like, you'd be surprised how much a phone call, how far it can go.
Yeah.
When it's meant for the right reason.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. You had a lot of accomplishments as a player. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your biggest accomplishment since then?
Being able to have helped over 300 athletes play professionally. Wow. Like, I love that. Just, when my forever home is done, built, and I have my little man cave, there's going to be all the uniforms of all the kids I've ever held.
That's going to be nice.
And granted, some of them may not make it to the big money. But we have a mutual friend by the name of Tony Freeland.
Yeah.
And Tony was one of those kids who had a ton of talent. And, but he still was heavily involved in the streets.
Yes.
And I'll never forget, we had this conversation with his mother when I got him his first job in Africa.
Yeah.
She hugged me and said,
My
thank you
homie.
for saving my child.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what it's,
that's what it's about, right?
That's what this is about.
Your contribution.
I saved him from something that he could have became because he was just in the wrong area.
In the wrong place at the wrong time.
So sent that kid to Africa, then he went over to Iceland, and now he has a baby and he's working in the city. He's doing well, but
he's doing real well.
When I had him, it was we were toting the line.
Yeah.
And now he's a better man.
So my man Cali Sportsman's not here, but he's up there celebrating his birthday with his mom. I think one of the questions he would ask you, we talk about how basketball players are spoiled. Mm-hmm. How do you see that?
We are. I mean, think about it. We're the only sport where no gear stops you from looking at us. Yeah. Football, you have helmets. Baseball, you even have helmets. Hockey, everything is covered except basketball players.
That's real.
We're the one athlete where you can go in any arena and you know who they are.
Yeah. That's true.
If certain people walk in and you wouldn't know if they didn't tell you, but you know the NBA players, you know the superstars. So we're definitely spoiled in that regard that, we're out there. Plus, our sport requires us to look a certain way.
Yeah, swag. Keith.
Swag.
We don't get to take the break. I love football, but we don't get to wait on the offense to come off the field or, we play the entire time.
Yeah.
Because we watched a couple of the Drew games this past year. Oscar, Freya, we was all there. And we was like, man, they crying like the NBA players. It's
it doesn't matter what league.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
You go to the rack, you think you get fouled every time.
It's just this is soft sport, man. I love this game.
Yeah, man.
You got any questions? You want to come up? Sure. Yeah, just come on.
All right. So I had a question in regards to your coaching career.
Mm-hmm.
So they already had asked what was the joy, but how do you feel being free? Because like you said, this opportunity to work with young people, they're always coming in. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that opportunity that you have an opportunity where you're bringing in young people and you take them from where they're at and you're trying to get them to where you want to go? Because a lot of people don't have that. I work with
mentors.
Right, there's so many people out there that have that guidance, have that knowledge, but they don't got the young people around them. So how does it feel that the universe has given you an opportunity to bring in
and people follow you?
Right, exactly.
Like you're a leader.
I take it in full stride. I mean, I don't believe in the zodiac so much, but I'm a Leo.
Okay.
So, the irony that I'm a Leo.
Gatekeeper, the Leo.
Listen, I'm a Leo, and my birthday is 7/24. Wow. If you flip it, that's 24/7.
Right.
So
damn, that was wait, hold on. That was a bar. Hold on, Keith. Say that again, Keith. Say that again, Keith. No, that was a bar.
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
So let's mix the lion.
Okay.
My birthday is 7/24. So if you reverse that, it's 24/7.
Okay.
So I'm a leader at all times.
Yes.
Go. Dang.
That's
we don't believe all the way in the zodiac.
Yeah, but
that part I do. That part I do.
Lined up.
That part I believe.
Cool deal, man.
That was a bar, Keith. That was a bar. But
so what's next?
My personal challenge is, getting to that big stage. I didn't make the NBA as a player, so I definitely want to make it as a coach. Wow. I think coaching is something that I'm good at, and over the last 8 years, the numbers will say I'm very good at it.
Really?
No, wait, let me hold it. Great at.
Thank you.
Great.
So I've interviewed with all 30 NBA teams. Just recently thought that I was going to get the Clipper job with their G League affiliate.
No kidding.
But didn't fall the way I needed it to. But I'll just keep pushing. Keep pushing. And we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But until then, I've been to 70 countries in 8 years. Man, since I started, I've been to 70 countries. Some vacation, majority traveling to help teams or players that I have in that country playing. So,
well, I want to
that's nice.
I want to tell people though he worked with some of the best NBA players in the world. Kobe Bryant, who else? Kobe Bryant is one of the best players. Kobe,
arguably
the best. But he worked with a lot of players, man. How do that feel working with Kobe?
It's different because I know you just saw the post.
Yeah.
So,
I do feel working.
Kobe and I, Kobe has offered me a chance to work with him in terms of his new movement, which is the Mamba Mentality. Mm-hmm. So I'm the head trainer for his Mamba Mentality clinics.
Wow. That's big.
And he just bought the Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks, which is now called the Mamba Sports Academy.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, the best male player and the best woman player. Tell me how you like working with the best woman player.
Diana Taurasi is a problem.
Yes.
So, she might be the first woman that plays in the dream.
Wait, big dog. We got a call.
We got a call.
Phone call.
Right, Put your headphones on.
Hold on.
There you go, Keith.
Don't do that.
See what we triggered here. You live at Sports Collective TV.
Hi, I'm calling. I wanted to ask why he started CLC.
Why did I start CLC?
Yeah.
The reason I started it, a good friend of mine back in college, Tahan Johnson, we used to work out, and one day we were in the gym at 6 a.m, and he was making a ton of shots in a row, and his form was flawless, and I was just kidding, like, dang, that boy's consistent.
Yeah,
and back then, certain ad-libs we make, it was like Swish, Cash.
Yeah.
So he hit the funeral, I was like, that's Cash. He was like, yeah, but just consistent form. I was like, consistency leaves the currency. And we looked at each other like ball stopped and everything. We looked and was like, ooh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I just kept saying it. Consistency leaves the currency. Yeah. And then when I decided to create my business, I didn't want a generic name.
Yeah.
2K Sports, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, CLC basketball. And then people understand the acronym means consistency leaves the currency.
You know it.
Cool deal. All right.
Any other questions?
No, I thank you for helping out to the kids and everybody that you help, man. I appreciate it.
Cool. That's all love, man. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in, man. Appreciate it.
All right, cool. All right, man, don't go nowhere. We're going to take this first break, man. We want to thank you for coming up here, man, and sharing your story and being open with us. So we're going to take this first break. We'll be right back. Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator, WDC. Shout us out. What's the count?
Sports Collective Media and Boys Media Studios presents Sports Collective TV, the best sports talk show that brings you the variety of talking guests only on the best network, Morris Media Studio. Live from Los Angeles, Mondays at 5 Pacific Time, 8 Eastern, only on MorrisMediaLife.com. Follow us on social media for all the latest updates, only at Sports Collective Media.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
And we're back here on Sports Collective TV with myself, Fredo Cervantes. Go ahead and give us a call. I know you might want to go ahead and call in because we're going to be talking about NFL highlights right now. 323-293-3375. So let's go ahead and bring it up to the table. Last night, big upset. I don't know if we want to call it an upset, but because the Chicago have been playing very good this year. Chicago, moving on to winning now 9 games in my division, I guess I want to say, because it's my Viking division. But the Rams got taken down in Chicago last night on Sunday Night Football. And Jared Goff, 4 not touchdowns, interceptions.
Man, too
4 interceptions, too cold for Jared Goff and out there. And, one thing surprising, I want to ask 2 Rams fans up here. Todd Gurley, where was he at?
I mean, there was no calls played for Todd Gurley all game long. Like, what happened? I don't know. It seems like it was a tough game last night for Rams fans.
I mean, I'm not the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, seriously. But what happened? Because literally, like, there was less than 3 touches of him. You know,
well, we know one thing, that the Bears their front eight has always been good.
Man.
I mean, that's the legacy of the Bears, is that they play defense. So I guess if I am the OC for the Rams, then I guess we were afraid to load up the box and try to. I mean, one thing you do is you got to protect your stars. So we're not about to sit there give him 30 carries and worry about him getting hit.
So let's go ahead and take the caller in right here. Caller,
already.
Give us a second. Caller, you're live on Sports Collective TV.
Yeah, my name is Rob.
What's up, Rob? How's it going, Rob?
And I've been looking on the blogs, and I've been looking online, and what I saw with my own eyes yesterday lets me believe that the Dallas Cowboys is about to win the championship.
Oh, that is right. Hey, what's up, boy? I know you've been listening, man. You know, I've been speaking about the Cowboys for the past 3 weeks now, saying, you know, they've been looking very good ever since the trade with Amari Cooper coming over to the Cowboys. And honestly, like I said it last week, they might be in the NFC Championship game. Anybody on the table here agree with that?
They got to win the first game.
You know what? What's the name?
That's Keon. That's Keon talking.
They got to win the first game. I don't care about them with a winning record. We've seen this movie.
What's up?
Yeah, we have. But not the Amari Cooper.
We don't know, though. We got to see them win the first game. Win the first game, and then we'll talk about how far the Cowboys are going to go.
What'd you say?
Right now, the first game is as far as they're going.
Yeah. Caller,
off history. I'm not saying that they're not going to win. I'm just saying we need to see past the first game.
Hey, yeah, but the proof is in the pudding. You know, the way the stars line up, everybody understands.
You've seen this before, though. We had the best record in the NFL and lost in the first round.
We've seen it, but I mean, you're talking about when you had Tony Romo. You had Des Bryant.
It's still the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys.
Legacy is legacy, regardless of who you're telling
it. But okay, so let's look at
what light skin power is.
Oh,
I hear you. Let him know. Let him know. Call it.
Know what it is now.
So, Robert was your name, correct?
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, Rob. So what? So you're telling me that the Cowboys is your favorite team in the NFL?
I'm a Rams fan, but it's
I had to get the truth out of him. Had to get the truth.
There you go.
Oh, he's light skinned for real.
I'm a Rams fan, but I'm intelligent.
Yeah, of course, just like me. I have my Vikings, but I'm a smart man.
I might have to jump on the bandwagon, though.
Yeah.
My name is Robert Rivera. By the way, I heard you guys talking about this Mamba mentality. I can teach people a few things about getting a 3-point shot in line. And I wanted to know who I can go ahead and send my highlight reel to.
Email me at Keon_Yahoo.com. I'll fix all of that.
There it is.
He must be a fantasy football player.
38 points at the YMCA.
Oh, that's fine. I train at the Y every day. We'll see which Y you drop at 38.
There it is, man. You got to go ahead and get in touch here with Keon, man.
Thank you for calling in, big dog. Thank you for calling in.
Man, a Rams
Appreciate
fan,
it, man. But a Rams fan. And, you know, honestly, I mean, there's another Rams fan out there saying, you know, the Cowboys. I'm telling you, I don't want to say I was a Cowboy hater, but I'm looking at something very good. I mean, I'm looking at something very, very good.
But going back to what Keon was saying, it's still early. Like, let them get their feet in the water.
Well, I mean, early in now. I mean, we're in week 4, coming into week 15. I mean, early. I mean, you're talking about.
As in talking about playoff
Cooper.
runs.
Yeah,
it's still early. Who knows? Injuries happen. You know, it's still a long way away.
It does, but I'm just telling you, don't be surprised.
But if they have to meet up against the Seahawks in the first round, that's a Cowboys Seahawks.
They go
that's a first round.
Yeah,
I just want to have this conversation after the first round.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry to interrupt here, Fredo. Big Al from behind the mic.
Oh, Big Al. Oh, yeah, we got a Rams fan back here. I forgot about that.
Rams fan back here as well. You know, if Amari Cooper hadn't caught in that last ball, that game would have gone either way.
You think so?
Hey,
but guess what? Guess
what,
Big Al? Guess what? He caught the ball. And he scored the ball, Big Al.
I'm saying that was a coin toss right there.
Hey, well, how about you flip some coins back there, right? All right, Big Al? I love you, Big Al. You got the coin there. Hey,
it's the Cowboys' chances right here. This is it.
Speaking the truth.
Hey, man, shout out to Big Al back there working the boards, man. But as well, so, you know, we talked about the Rams, what happened yesterday. We talked about the Cowboys. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oakland Raiders.
I didn't watch any football yesterday. I was with my daughter at a landmark course, man.
Smart man.
Don't watch that awful football.
I didn't watch that.
Man.
So
how many texts did you get from Ilya?
Hold on. I think we got another call.
Right, let's take another caller. Caller, you're live on Sports Collective TV. Introduce yourself.
You got the lines booming today.
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to ask Ferran what he thought about the Steelers losing to the Raiders.
Thanks for calling in. That's
a Raider
big
fan.
Luwop in the building.
Luwop, I plead the fifth. I didn't have cable yesterday, so I didn't get a chance, and my Wi-Fi was down.
He didn't see a
TV antenna. Get your antenna straight.
And my Wi-Fi was down, so I didn't catch any highlights, man, until like late last night. And luckily, my man Cali Sportsman is up in the Bay. So he's with his mom, taking care of his mother. So he was quiet yesterday. So it's a tough loss, man.
But Luwop is not quiet. Luwop, let it out.
What do you want to say, man?
Oh no, I just want to ask you, Ferran, if you're gonna bust a Fredo and pick another team.
Oh no, man! Hey, the Steelers, man. We always looking for that wild card anyway, man. We just got to get there. We just got to get there, man. I'm not jumping off to no other team.
Hey,
Luwop,
don't tell me you're celebrating over your third win of the season. Really?
We gonna talk about what we doing? What are you doing up there, man? I a self-respecting Vikings fan.
We're on Monday Night Football right now.
Who has Jerry Buss's like little low-hanging fruit. Wow. So close to his
your head.
But hey, Luwop,
this sounds personal. Yeah, this sounds personal.
Hey, I would have texted this conversation. It's a little personal.
You're still a Vikings fan, man. You're still a Vikings fan.
I'm still a Vikings fan, and I will always be a Vikings fan. But I hope you decide to find a new team because I mean the Oakland Raiders. Honestly, this is very bad. You might be worse than the Cleveland Browns. So
they gotta win. They gotta win.
Yeah, that's this year. But over the past 10 years, has not been the same thing. Okay. I mean Baker Mayfield is honestly
the future.
He's the future. Baker Mayfield.
I don't know. I mean, a new stadium seems to fix things. I know your team was pretty crappy until you guys got that new stadium.
Not too crappy. I mean, we were still in the division every so and so, but
every so and so.
But hey, we got a new stadium thing. We do have a new stadium, but
that new stadium works wonders. So
Oh, Lou. All right, Lou. Look. I know right now that I got you live on Sports Collective TV. I want to go ahead and ask you one question. I'm gonna go ahead and switch topic a little bit quick on a little bit of baseball right now. I remember, you joined. We came into Morris Media Studios here back in April. April Fool's Day. And I remember you were here on the desk with us, and I remember everything you were saying about your Arizona Diamondbacks and my Dodgers, being down, 10 games behind in the division. And then, we move forward, and we arrive in the World Series again. And where are the Diamondbacks?
Oh, we're at the same place the Dodgers are, watching the Red Sox win the World Series.
Dang. Oh, we weren't at home watching them win it. We were actually in our stadium at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we were actually playing.
You had a team go into your stadium, and y'all had to call them that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hate.
There's a lot of hate in this room.
There is, but hey, Luwop, man.
No, Fredo, wait, last question. When have you ever seen your team win a World Series?
Okay,
my team won in 2001.
You did 2001. Wow.
I did.
Go to break.
All right.
Lost call.
Hey, Luwop, man, I love you. You're always more than welcome to come on down. And you're down the street. Come on down, man. You know where we're at. I'd love to have a one-on-one chat with you on the desk here.
Okay.
I don't think you can handle it.
Oh, well, we'll see. Hey, can you accept the challenge next week?
It's a heat-off.
We got 15 minutes?
I'm pretty sure. Hey, I'm pretty sure we can probably squeeze in 20 minutes.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We got it.
You got it. Look, hey, let's go. Stay up on the fantasy basketball there. I know I got to talk to Oscar about some trades afterwards, but Luwop, man, thanks for calling in again. No, I'm not going to drop Melo.
Wow.
I'm not going to drop Melo. Hey, man, good looking out, Luwop. Hey, man, Sports Collective TV, you know how we bring it to you every time. We have some great callers calling in every time, but hey, when we come back, Oscar's going to have something special for you guys here. Sports Collective TV.
Yeah. Sports Collective Media and Morris Media Studios presents Sports Collective TV, the best sports talk show that brings you the variety of talking guests only on the best network, Morris Media Studio. Live from Los Angeles, Mondays at 5 Pacific Time, 8 Eastern, only on MorrisMediaLife.com. Follow us on social media for all the latest updates, only at Sports Collective Media.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
What's the count? 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 What's the count?
Welcome back to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator. I'm Ferran, aka WDC. This is my segment, the 20-second timeout segment. Mr. Kendrick, I want to ask you, I see that you trained a guy, Kalen Bennett, that lives and manages with autism. What was that like, having an athlete like that, man? This is like...
that was unique on both ends.
Yeah.
Dealing with kids with special needs. Personally, it's a challenge for me because I have to react off him. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they don't see the world the same way we see it. So we actually shared a moment where we figured it out together, and that was where the relationship blossomed. Like, you know, they understand it just at a different rate. So it was a great experience for me to be able to work with them. What
did you have to do for yourself to
kind of learn how to teach?
Yeah,
you know, there's a different way of teaching them than it is teaching us. I don't call them the word normal.
Right,
no such thing.
No such thing, exactly.
But just sometimes a little more demonstrative, more hands-on.
Oh, okay.
You know, so they visually see it.
Yeah,
so it was actually fun. Makes me want to get back in shape.
Yeah. Is that the first athlete you've trained that way?
No, I mean, we've had camps. We've had camps with kids. We just did one a week ago where we had a ton of kids with autism or Down syndrome or special needs, and try to have a little basketball camp together.
Cool deal. And one of my things that's important to me is sickle cell trait and rhabdomyolysis. So, what is your knowledge about sickle cell trait? I
know it runs a lot in our bloodline. So, you know, for the black community, that I know it's very, very prevalent, is that we need to do more research. Yeah. We need to figure this stuff out and find out the medicines and the precursors that lead up to it. You know, because we as black men, we don't take our health as seriously as we need to.
Yeah, definitely. That's true. And rhabdo, as a trainer, you know, rhabdomyolysis is a skeletal muscular disorder. Have you had any experience with athletes?
Now you're going into sports and body. I just dribble basketball. No, I know a little bit about it.
That exertion, you know.
I know a little bit, but that's not my field.
Okay, cool. No, I appreciate that. All right, so again, this is as you mentioned about sickle cell trait, it's an inherited gene. Yes, African Americans, we are number one. However, the Latin community is number two. But you can be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. You got it on your bloodline. It's no longer a color. And also, for you student athletes, you have to have a sickle cell trait test done to play in the NCAA or sign a waiver, because there's been athletes collapsing and dying from sickle cell trait exertion. So it's very important. You want information, WDCONSCT.org. I got all the information there for sickle cell trait awareness. You can hit me up at any time. Always right here on Monday on Sports Collective. We got a caller. So let's see what we got.
Who are you talking to?
You're live with Sports Collective TV.
Hey, how's it going, man? This is Rob Valentine.
Roberto.
What's going on, Keith?
Oh, man. Rob, for those who don't know, Rob is my assistant.
Oh, what?
Rob is my assistant trainer. I trained Rob when he played a few years ago, and now Rob is like my understudy. He's been working with me all summer, been a part of the ride and learning and growing. What's up, Rob?
What's your question?
Not much, man. Chilling, man. I had a question for you. My biggest question to you is why do you help so many people in a game of basketball, and what is the bigger purpose behind it?
Wow.
I think the reason I extend myself thin to everyone is because, you know, some people don't know how to reach out for help. But if I'm sitting there with a gigantic help poster, sign, that says, you know, come to me, talk to me, and it gives people a chance to open up, you know, because we're taught that you kind of have to do things alone, you know, and don't ask for help. There's no strength in that. Yes. So I feel that I'm okay with, I don't mind being the poster child for like, hey, I will help you, and I don't mind helping you. And the bigger picture is for me to help you so you help someone else.
Wow.
Cool deal.
Good deal.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate it.
That's all I love, Rob. See you at 8 o'clock tomorrow for Anthony Brown. No, you're done asking questions. You're not on the clock right now, so I don't pay you at this point. What is your question, Rob?
What's your question? What is your question? No, you got it.
You got one more question.
My question to you is, what did winning the Drew League championship this year mean for you?
Winning the Drew for me and you being a part of it, it was a culmination. Man. You know, I've done a lot in that league, and shout out to the Smiley family for giving me so much power to help them build their brand. I'm more like their international ambassador. I've taken the Drew League to Japan, taken them to China, Australia. So we're kind of building the Drew League to a bigger platform than it is on the East side. But winning it was just a culmination of what my players deserve. We've been in that thing 7 years, and we've been on the doorstep of it many times. For those guys that have went overseas and I lose them like in the Final Four, and then it's hard to win a championship game without your best players. So I've been to 3 Final Fours in 3 years. Yeah. So finally to get ready to host that banner and those guys that have been with me since day one, to see their names across it is just, it's just validation.
Facts.
Boom.
Dope. All right, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for calling in, man. Thank you.
Be on time tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
All right, no doubt.
Oscar, you want to go straight into your segment, man? You got a video? Or
oh, no. We can go straight into it.
Let's go straight into it.
So I wanted to talk about baseball. Even though it's winter, right, for those that are Dodger fans, there's a lot of winter meetings already going on, negotiations, transactions. And so to the players that my source, my boy here, the Truth.
Truth, you want to come back up here?
Truth.
He said that Dodgers are actually in play and getting Pollock and who else?
And Bryce Harper. I mean, that's just a conversation with Bryce Harper, being the biggest key. And right now, I was looking at some reports right now that Andrew Friedman, the president of the Dodgers, he's looking to make a big splash, he said. He's looking to make a bigger splash than he's ever done. So, I mean, the only one he can do is Bryce Harper. So, Bryce Harper's the only one out there looking at that's right, $300 million number he said.
They better not give him 10 years.
Yeah.
They better not give him 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's looking somewhere 6+.
6 and up.
6 and up, so it's going to be very tough, but he's still young. He's still 26, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
27.
That's cool.
So, I mean, in baseball years, that's very young in baseball years. So, hopefully, that's something that can happen.
Can I say one thing, though? Is I don't understand how teams, for instance, Dodgers, the reason they got here wasn't by going out buying players. We saw that didn't work. It was really their system. Their young players developing, breaking out, and making impact in the MLB. Now that we're here, we're at the top.
Why are we trading people?
Exactly.
That's real.
It's
that's
like,
true.
why don't we just continue doing what we've been doing, got us here, and continue to develop more players?
But when you have an abundance of young players, that's when you trade for a superstar. And you use superstars with your farm system.
Okay.
But you also got to understand the market you're in. This is a win-now market.
Yeah.
It's Los Angeles. Yeah, that's and true. The reason Los Angeles is piggybacking off of the Yankees.
Right.
And that was a winning formula in baseball for many years is the highest bidder wins.
Right.
So if you're going to get all the talent that's supposed to be better than everybody else, that's why pitchers cost so much.
Yeah. Right. If you go 30 years without a championship.
Trust me. I'm reminded every day.
Luau brought that up earlier too. So
man. They just traded Goldsmith, so that team's down.
So let me ask: Are you guys fans of the uniform or the players? Are you going to follow the players when they transition? So you're a fan of the uniform.
Yeah, but I think in basketball is the other way around. In basketball,
I don't believe so. A lot of people either like their team or they tend to not follow the players.
But I guess with the way that the NBA just markets their own players, like every player knows how to just start their own brand and go out and do their own.
Because I was a Chauncey Billups fan and I followed him around, and so
you're rare.
No. Well, thank you.
There must be something personal.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
That's not something you hear every day.
That's real.
Yeah, no, I did. I did. Yeah, man.
Okay. Big shot.
That was a big shot, man.
I think a lot of the kids are following the players, though. Like LeBron, Durant. When they switch teams, they switch teams.
Yeah,
that's great.
With them. So,
like, we got a bunch of Steph Curry fans here in LA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because they didn't grow up watching Kobe, and they started watching basketball when Kobe was going out and Curry was doing his thing. Because I asked my little niece, she's 9, I was like, "Who's your favorite player?" Curry. Even though she's a Kobe fan, and a Laker fan.
That's their age group. That's
right.
That's their who they watch.
I'm 14 sometimes still, so I mean, it happens. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
What you got?
Big Al, come on down, Big
Al.
Let
me hear something.
I wanted to announce some breaking news here. Some other basketball news.
What you got?
The Los Angeles Sparks got a new head coach.
Oh yeah!
Officially, Derek Fisher will be the new head coach.
Hey, we got to get Derek in the building, yo. I'm going after that interview, yo. We want.
Y'all tell Derek to come down 1:30 Sunday, Charles Drew Middle School, because I have 2 of his players that play for me.
Okay. Ooh, nice. We gonna get that clip out there.
Assistant coach, I'm already coaching your players. So. Odyssey Sims and Essence Carson's currently play for me, so my sister that knows your players.
They're winning this year. They're winning this year.
You think so?
Coach,
you think so?
They get the chemistry right. They get the locker room and everything right, and that's going to be
if they have a season.
Oh, there is a lot.
They're going to lock out. They're going to lock out. They're going to lock out.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't, and hopefully they
everything comes. Yeah, everything.
They're going to lock out.
You heard it. You heard it first.
Yes. Side source, though.
Breaking news.
I mean, it makes sense to lock out.
They have to go to Russia and out overseas to get money.
So I spoke with Tarasi when she said she's done traveling. And the reason Odyssey Sims and Essence Carsons are currently playing with me now is because they're done with that grind.
Yeah,
I think women's, now don't quote me on this, but I believe professional women are the only sport where the pro athletes have to play another sport to make their income.
Right.
Well, I mean, just the fact that a late second round pick in the NBA gets paid way more than the best female basketball player on the planet is a joke. That's just one reason by itself to go in the lockout. Then comes the fact that they can get paid more overseas.
Yeah.
The season and the travel schedule is bad. All this
stuff.
That's
a
are they doing? Whether they need more sponsors, they need more dollars being paid. I mean,
I personally believe the NBA needs to get more involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
partnerships.
I know the ladies are a little upset that the ruling for next season, the NBA is going to get the elite athletes $125,000 in high school to go to the G League.
Yes.
Which is
wow,
the maximum of what a WNBA player makes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that doesn't sound right.
That's what should be upsetting when you look at girls like Candace, Maya Moore.
Oh yeah, that don't make sense.
All right, guys, we got a caller.
Okay, last caller, y'all. Let's go. You're live with Sports Collective TV.
I am calling in to see if y'all have talked about what's happening on Sunday with Keys and his team. I know I heard y'all touch on it for a second just now, but I'm calling in a little late, and I want to know if we've talked about women's basketball.
Did you announce Sunday?
I did. Look at the irony that a women's basketball.
Exactly.
And the Me Too movement is serious.
Holding us accountable.
But no, we this Sunday the T-Wear Women's Drew League Championship game between my team, which is titled In My Feelings. The person that came up with the name is Light Skin. Shout out my sister Jessica Cheeks. And we play the 3-time defending champion Lady Cheaters, which is players like Chelsea Gray, our good friend and sister Ify Beckley.
I love you, Ify.
And they have 2 WNBA players, and I have 3. My team is Odyssey Sims, Essence Carsons, and Noelle Quinn, who just won the championship with the Seattle Storm.
Wow, that's going to be good. And where's that going to be played at?
At Charles Drew Middle School off of Firestone in Compton.
Yes.
Nice.
Big event. We need to show up.
Follow, their Instagram is Women's Drew.
Women's Drew.
So please follow, come out and support. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a fun one.
We got like 120 seconds.
This is going to be his second group championship of the
What else is
year.
coming on right now?
Say that again. Excuse me. Say that again.
I don't have a headset.
I said this will be his second Jew championship of the year.
Yes,
yeah.
I definitely want to make history. If I win Sunday, win Sunday, I will be the only coach in Los Angeles history to have won both men's and women's.
Let's go, Key.
And that's an accomplishment right there.
For real.
Thank you for calling in.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, much respect.
All right. All right, so we got 120 seconds left. Fredo, what you got, man?
Well, man, I just want to go ahead and touch a little bit of... Oh, shit, my bad. Go ahead. I just want to touch a little bit more on some basketball. I mean, there's been some trade talks, with the Lakers trying to acquire Trevor Ariza, a former local guy here. Did play with the Lakers back in the late 2000s, won a championship here before he moved on to the Houston Rockets. But I know we got some some basketball minds in here. What do you guys think? Can the Lakers improve with Trevor?
Well, I mean,
here's my thing. Sorry to interfere there. It's not if the Lakers are better with Trevor Ariza. Is it worth it to take on that contract?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 1 year, $15 million. I mean, that would come off the books.
That's who they're trading.
You have to KCP and probably a draft pick. If you look at it, the movement of what Magic and those guys, Pelinka, what they're doing is understanding how competitive the West is. I think they're 1 game out of first place.
Yeah, they're 1.5.
So 1.5 game out of first place, so that means you're going to have to guard somebody. Not saying that Contavious isn't a great defender, but we do understand that historically Trevor's been a better defender.
Yeah, more consistent for sure.
More consistent for sure. And also adding... here's another shout out. High school teammate, Tyson Chandler. Efficiency-wise, defensively, they've gotten better. So now, where your scoring is coming from LeBron, you may get Kuzma, you may get other people. Now you got to start guarding people. In the West is who can you stop?
The length's going to be crazy though. If they get a reason.
Now and he's still historically one of the best corner 3-point shooters by percentage.
Yeah.
So you still advance. You still get better with shooting, but you get better defense.
So you saying that'd be a good deal?
It's a great move if you can match up the contract. Tavius and Trevor make around the same.
And you don't have to give up more than one pick.
Yeah, you got to give up a pick.
And that's
my boy coming on.
That might be worth it because if they're trying to get Anthony Davis or somebody else during the offseason
later on,
that draft pick might be crucial because that could be used to pick somebody else
as a barter.
But any guy that you get above like an Anthony Davis is trade and sign.
So
you're looking at losing half.
There you go, T.
Wow. Happen. But one more thing before we go.
Okay, what you got?
A little bit of breaking news. The Houston Rockets are about to acquire J.R. Smith.
What?
We saw that right now from Mark Stein.
But you couldn't get along with Carmelo.
Team switch. Wow.
I don't understand that.
I'm not sure. I just saw somebody report Mark Stein. Blame Mark Stein. He's the one that reported.
Oh, my God.
About to acquire J.R. Smith.
Yeah, they need another shooter.
That's a good pickup.
They need defense.
They need defense.
All right.
That's a good pickup.
Make sure y'all catch the rest of this on social media at Sports Collective Media on Instagram. Hey, thank everybody for coming out, man. Thank you for coming and sharing, man, being a part of the show. Don, you good, man?
I'm good. This is great.
Good.
All right, man. So Don is good. Shout us out, What's the Count Sports Collective TV, Mondays at 5 p.m. on Morris Media Live. Shout us out.
Thank you, guys.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.